The James Webb Space Telescope has identified an interstellar object displaying behaviors far beyond anything expected from cometary or asteroid-like bodies. Designated 3I Atlas, the object is rapidly becoming one of the most debated anomalies in modern astrophysics. What initially appeared to be a distant, drifting mass has instead revealed signatures that point strongly toward engineered mechanisms, biological complexity, and deliberate activity, forcing scientists to reconsider long-standing assumptions about interstellar visitors and the potential technologies behind them. The earliest anomalous measurements came from Webb's infrared spectrometers. During a deep sky scan, the telescope recorded a persistent thermal pulse originating from the interior of 3I Atlas, an evenly timed output inconsistent with natural sublimation or thermal variance. This pulse repeated with machine-like precision. Thermal distribution mapping showed a centralized origin, suggesting a structured internal component rather than diffuse heating from sunlight or surface reactions. No model of natural comet behavior could reproduce the regularity of the emission. Shortly afterward, photometric analysis revealed narrow energy bands emerging from the object, highly specific wavelengths typically associated with artificial communication or targeted transmission systems. Fourier filtering exposed a structured pattern buried in the apparent noise, with interval organization far more precise than random cosmic radiation would produce. Some researchers interpreted the pattern as a possible data stream. Others argued it resembled a form of encoded signaling or internal diagnostics. Although interpretations vary, the consensus is that the emission was intentional rather than accidental. A dramatic escalation occurred when 3I Atlas abruptly increased in brightness, rising by nearly half its normal value in under 2 minutes. The event coincided with a uniform thermal rise across its entire structure, strongly suggesting an activation event rather than a chemical flare. Immediately after this surge, the object altered its trajectory. The adjustment was small but controlled, an intentional change inconsistent with gravitational perturbation or momentum transfer from surface jets. Orbital modeling indicates that 3I Atlas shifted into a path threading between the inner planets, following a course that appears selected rather than inherited from its interstellar origin. Further spectral decomposition from the European Southern Observatory uncovered another layer of complexity. Certain fluctuations in 3I Atlas's emitted light matched resonance patterns typically associated with biological systems, specifically oscillations reminiscent of prebiotic structural rhythms. These were not molecular signatures of life as humans understand it. Instead, they represented organized patterns resembling the lifelike scaffolding found in early cellular processes. This suggested that the object may not merely contain biological material, but could incorporate biology into its structure, functioning as a hybrid of engineered and organic components. Soon after these revelations, the emissions from 3I Atlas rapidly diminished. Thermal pulses flattened, the spectral signals weakened, yet the trajectory remained precisely maintained. The transition resembled a shift into a low visibility or defensive operational mode, where internal systems continue functioning without detectable outward emissions. This behavior provoked a troubling hypothesis. 3I Atlas might be capable of altering its detectability in response to observation. The object's influence did not stop at silent maneuvering. Sensors monitoring Earth's magnetic environment, particularly in the South Atlantic anomaly region, detected pulse-like distortions that correlated in timing with 3I Atlas's trajectory adjustments. These localized electromagnetic disturbances cannot be attributed to solar activity or terrestrial sources. Their synchronization with the interstellar object suggests that 3I Atlas interacts with magnetic fields over astronomical distances, or that its emissions resonate with Earth's magnetosphere directly. No naturally occurring comet or asteroid has ever been known to induce such coupling effects. This led several independent physicists to propose that 3I Atlas may represent a form of intelligence whose physical nature differs radically from Earth-based biology. Instead of carbon structures or biochemical processes, such an intelligence could be based on plasma interactions, controlled electromagnetic fields, or engineered matter capable of self-regulation and adaptation. In this scenario, 3I Atlas would not be a vessel for a pilot. It would be the entity itself, a self-contained organism or machine biological hybrid evolved or manufactured for interstellar travel. Webb's gravitational measurements offer indirect support for this interpretation. Space around 3I Atlas bends more strongly than its estimated mass should allow. The gravitational lensing signature implies either a much denser interior hidden beneath its exterior surface or the presence of technology capable of manipulating gravity fields. The latter possibility would enable propulsion through gravity modulation, analogous to a submarine adjusting buoyancy to navigate through an ocean. Such control would represent a level of technological sophistication far beyond current human capabilities. Another compelling piece of evidence emerged when a fragment separated from the main object. Initial assumptions classified it as debris. However, infrared and spectrometric imaging revealed that the fragment possessed geometric precision incompatible with natural formation. Smooth planar faces, right angles, and uniform edges indicated engineered manufacturing. Intriguingly, the fragment emitted no heat or radiation and exhibited complete light absorption without reflective scattering, suggesting a material designed for stealth or observational purposes. Its atomic composition did not resemble any known terrestrial or meteoric substances, reinforcing the conclusion that it originated from non-natural fabrication. Rotation tracking from observatories in Hawaii added yet another anomaly. Instead of spinning chaotically, 3I Atlas rotated according to intervals matching fundamental mathematical constants, pi, the golden ratio, and prime sequences. These patterns are not physically required for rotational stability. They resemble a signaling form using angular momentum rather than electromagnetic output, potentially a broadcast for observers capable of detecting and interpreting rotational data. This method would be resilient against environmental noise and less detectable to primitive observational systems. Life detection algorithms applied to the debris trail produced additional insights. Webb identified organic scaffolding within the particulate haze surrounding 3I Atlas. These structures appear capable of replication under appropriate environmental conditions. Though not complete organisms, they resemble biochemical templates from which life could develop. This has led to two competing interpretations. One proposes that the material is a biological camouflage designed to imitate comet-like residue. The other suggests a seeding mechanism, a dispersal of life-building components across star systems, aligning with theories of directed panspermia. Magnetometers aboard deep space probes and on Earth recorded rhythmic magnetic oscillations in triplets aligned with the object's traversal through the inner solar system. Unlike emissions from solar storms, these pulses maintained coherence across distance and grew stronger as 3I Atlas approached. Such behavior resembles a synchronization routine or handshake protocol, a method of aligning with local magnetic environments or perhaps interfacing with specific planetary or heliospheric structures. In response to these anomalies, communication specialists transmitted encoded electromagnetic messages using prime numbers, binary sequences, and tone-based intervals. No direct reply followed. However, 1 hour after the final transmission, 3I Atlas suddenly modified its spin rate. The adjustment was too precise and too timely to be coincidental. Though not an overt response, the change implied acknowledgement, possibly even a deliberate choice to remain silent. In intelligence analysis, this is categorized as controlled non-communication, signaling awareness without initiating dialogue. Archived infrared surveys from 1987, 1998, and 2013 revealed subtle anomalies along the same vector that 3I Atlas currently follows. Each event coincided with unexplained radio bursts and gravitational irregularities recorded on Earth. This suggests that 3I Atlas may have passed near the solar system before, implying a cyclical trajectory with potentially observational intent. If accurate, the object could have monitored Earth's development across decades or longer. Trajectory modeling indicates that 3I Atlas is not heading toward Earth or the Sun. Its current path brings it near Jupiter's moon Europa, and projections show a possible future encounter with Saturn's moon Enceladus if its orbit repeats. Both worlds contain subsurface oceans and are regarded as prime candidates for extraterrestrial life. This raises the possibility that 3I Atlas is not primarily interested in Earth itself, but in the biological potential of icy ocean worlds. A final line of investigation came from comparative genomic modeling. Organic residues from 3I Atlas revealed structural patterns reminiscent of Earth's non-coding DNA, ancient viral fragments, and self-replicating molecular templates. While not identical to terrestrial biology, these structures appear compatible in a way that suggests a shared foundational architecture. This finding raises a provocative question. Could objects like 3I Atlas have contributed to the origins of life on Earth? The emerging picture portrays 3I Atlas not merely as an interstellar object, but as an active, adaptive, possibly sentient system designed to traverse star systems, gather environmental data, disperse biological material, or observe planetary development. Its behaviors, trajectory correction, thermal regulation, gravity anomalies, magnetic synchronization, and structured emissions all point toward intention rather than natural evolution. Whether 3I Atlas is a messenger, a probe, a living entity, or a remnant of a much older technological civilization remains unknown, but the evidence increasingly suggests that the solar system is not an untouched frontier. Something has been here before, and may now be returning with purpose.